We are just 2 days away from a new administration in the governor's mansion. Glenn Youngkin has already promised to rescind the mask mandate on his first day in office. And we wanted to get to the bottom of what that will mean for schools and your students.
That's right. Sarah Bloom has a closer look at some of the changes in this week's RVA Parenting.
I'll get straight to the point. Expect some changes, but it may take some time to get clarity on how those changes are implemented for our kids.
I think parents should be empowered to make decisions for their children. And so we're going to have a common sense approach, but also one that protects lives and livelihoods. And I think together we can in fact forge a new path forward.
The numbers show COVID cases are on the rise and hospitals are stretched thin. Schools have adjusted. Colonial Heights hoping to pause case outbreaks with a 5-day virtual pause for class. Chesterfield looking at options to use the state virtual academy. Henrico and other school systems have operated with hundreds of staff members calling out. But should kids wear masks in schools? Parents have long been divided on the issue, as have lawmakers, pointing to not just COVID, but mental health and education as factors to consider. A bipartisan bill, SB 1303, promises Virginia students an in-person option for class. It also has a clause stating that schools would have to follow Centers for Disease Control and Prevention guidelines in their reopening plans, quote, to the maximum extent practicable. That's been the controversial part. Democrats say CDC guidelines strongly suggest mask wearing. This week, we sat down with the governor-elect asking for clarification on his position on masks in schools and what to expect school to look like if the mask mandate is rescinded.
Parents, in fact, should have a say about whether their children should wear a mask or not in school. And I think that parents actually are guaranteed that right under our Constitution and in our laws. And so we know that respecting parents' priority over their kids, the fundamental right that parents have to make decisions with regards to their children's education and their well-being, that's a fundamental right that we'll protect.
Youngkin did not say how he would make that change happen, whether through a new bill, amending SB 1303, or an executive order. We're waiting for a response from his team on specifics. We also reached out to the Virginia Department of Health.
So incoming Governor Youngkin has spoken about reversing this mask mandate. How does that jive with the surge in COVID cases and what you're saying about mask wearing in schools?
CDC guidance hasn't changed around this, and our understanding of what we see in Omicron cases is telling us that we still feel like it is going to be necessary for us to make recommendations for folks that to wear masks as much as they're possible. We understand that it may not have the backing of a mandate, but we hope that individuals will still choose to go ahead and have their kids wear masks to school, have their kids wear masks when they're out in public, just to protect themselves and to keep it from getting to their kids.
Now, if at the end of all of that, you're still wondering, so what exactly is my kid's school day going to look like? Is my kid going to wear a mask? I hear you. I'm wondering the same thing. The reality is these school districts are going to have to wait for official guidance from the Youngkin administration. And based on that, they'll either take action or they won't. And in some cases, it may require a school board vote. And of course, as all of that happens, we'll be on your side watching the discussions and decisions that impact your kids and your family. On your side for RVA Parenting, I'm Sarah Bloom.
Thanks, Sarah. And we